So right after the war, my father, who was a businessman, went across Germany and he saw all the destroyed cities and all the children in the different streets that were without food, without clothes, and very often without parents.
When Swiss businessman Jean-André saw all the boys and girls without parents and homes after World War II, he knew he had to do something. And that trip was how it all started for Grain of Wheat International. 60 years later, Grain of Wheat is still helping the poorest boys and girls. But now those boys and girls are all over the world.
A third of the population of the world is children under 15 years old. So that's more than 2 billion. And half of this number are underprivileged.
Now Grain of Wheat helps children in Africa who have never had a toothbrush or a toy.
La première fois que nous avons distribué des jouets aux enfants.
Boys and girls in Lebanon who never feel love.
What we do here is love in action.
Or children who are hurt by the beliefs in their country.
Suffering is just a normal way of life in the Buddhist context.
I think this is so important to bring the gospel to kids now, because we know that most Christians became Christian before the age of 15.
There are places around the world where boys and girls are not allowed to hear about Jesus. So for lots of them, groups like this are the first place they might hear. These groups who sing songs and do skits and puppets are allowed to go to schools, hospitals, and all over.
Preparing them to be more open to God's word, to show them instead of tell them.
ضروري يمكن نغيرهم أو نقدر نشوف التغيير قدامنا بهيدي الجمعة. نحن منجيبهم هون أول شيء لحتى نسليهم، لحتى نطلعهم من الجو اللي هن فيه.
3 meals, a warm bed, games, crafts, sports, and the Bible. When poor boys and girls spend a week in camp, they feel love and hope.
حبيت كل المخيم والشتلات هذول كان كثير مزاركين. Bardzo grzechy i się dużo lubię. No i też ja.
قول له انه قاعد على البحر وقاعد عم يكتب ملاهي. انا ما انا مسلحيه. انا ما انا.
هو لما كنا نقعد بالجروب ديسكشن واعرف انه فهموا كل البايبل ستادي وعم يرجعوا يسمعوا الايه وصاروا لحد هلا حافظين 5.
Я можу назвати, можна перераховувати море причин, я назву, напевно, лише 2. Перша причина – це тому, що є результати. Варто подивитися на життя дітей.
There are 2 girls in my group that prayed and asked the Lord to enter their lives. And it was very touching for me because this is the first time they experienced God's love.
What is beautiful in this ministry is that up to 70% of the children make a decision for Christ. And we can see the results afterwards because later on they come to us to be a camp counselor.
Є в церкві деякі з цих дітей, які колись були в таборі, зараз є наставниками в цьому таборі. 3 точно є таких людей зараз в цьому таборі, які колись покалися в таборі.
А в то время позвонила Вера Ивановна и сказала, что есть курсы фонда «Пшеничное зерно», и они оказывают и помощь, и вы можете включиться в эту программу.
What happens to the boys and girls when they leave our camps? Will they forget about Jesus? Grain of Wheat leaders and volunteers keep coming all year long with kids clubs. They do sports, art, and learn about the Bible.
We put a great emphasis and care on the follow-up. We aim at reaching each child, not only in camps, but during the whole year that follows the camp.
When they come to our club, we tell the story of God and the story of Jesus and so many interesting stories from the Bible.
Moi, je suis très encouragée en les voyant sourire, changer, des choses comme ça. Et je suis très contente et ça me motive.
There are more and more poor children around the world, and there are many things that might keep grain of wheat away from them. But with your help and the brave people around the world, those boys and girls get love and hope every day.
I believe God will show us miracles in years to come when these kids grow up, and they will remember the things that they learned in these camps and will be an example and a witness for other people they meet.
Millions of the poorest children in the world will never have the opportunity to hear the gospel. You will introduce these children to what they need most, the love of God.
You can help Grain of Wheat give the world's poorest children hope. You can give them love. You can give them Jesus.